Yeah. So let's set the call by setting our mood. And my mood for right now is grateful. I am grateful. I feel that. And feel free to just unmute yourself and share your mood.
Hi all, I'm Julie from Nairobi, Kenya. My mood today is relief. Yeah.
Kelly, also taking the call from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that I'll be able to practice with you guys all again somewhere, sometime in 2022.
I'm Sarah Page and I'm in New Jersey and I am extremely optimistic.
I'm Jordan. I'm also in New Jersey at the moment. And hi, Sarah. Yeah, and I'm patient.
Hi, everyone. Fred here in Nairobi. Like Sarah Page, I'm also very optimistic.
I'm Oscar in Nairobi, and I'm relieved and happy to see that AYP still exists. It's been a really rough time for everyone who supported it, and to see everyone turn up is, yeah, it's a great amount of relief I have.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christy from Colorado, and I am grateful to be just with the organization again in a capacity to lead, and fingers crossed in 2022, we'll be taking over a Seva Safari for Julie Kadum.
Hi, I'm Susan from
Hi, everyone.
Okay, Susie, go then, Michael.
Hi, my name is Susan from Nairobi, Kenya, and I'm grateful. My mood is grateful. Thank you.
Thanks, Susan. Michael, you can go.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michael from Nigeria, and I am grateful and optimistic.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will go straight. If there's anyone who hasn't shared their mood and they are willing to share their mood, feel free to write your mood on the chat box. One, I start by saying that thank you so much for being on this call, for being with us throughout this year. This has been the hardest year for us as Africa Yoga Project since we started, and we've also seen great moves, great changes in the organization, and amazing support from you guys who are here and those that are not here, our supporters, our donors, our teachers, our staff. There has been so much of unity and coming together and working together as a team. So those of us that are in the organization has been amazing. And we couldn't have come to this far without your support. Our last day, we were actually to close the Shine Center, as you all know, in November, but miracle happened. because of rent, and a guy known by Andrew Seeley paid our November salary, our November rent. And then another person that would wish to remain anonymous paid for the December rent. And then we are hoping to be able to continue. And we did do our MBW 2021 training, and hopefully we can be able to keep pushing. With that, also our last, I know Jordan is going to share this, but this is also good news. We were also to finish the being the organization by March next year, but Jordan will tell us more about our financials later. So you gotta stay for that information that will come later during this call. Anyways, thank you so much. I'm going to invite Julie, who is going to be our first speaker. I will be your moderator for the day. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you, Angie. Just quick check. Can everyone hear me okay? Awesome. Yes, as Wanji has said, my government name is in fact Julie Auma. I have the privilege of being the Academy Manager at Africa Yoga Project. And so for me, my bit today is to share with you kind of looking back about where we've come from so far this year and some key highlight points. Before I do that, I just like us to all take a moment. The last 2 years, I would like to comfortably say 2 years, have really shown us different aspects of ourselves and the world we live in. So let's just take 1 minute. And here you can choose to either close your eyes or to lower your gaze. And take a comfortable seat, a seat that you take maybe for meditation, or rather I'll say a seat that feels comfortable. Yeah. And so let's just take a moment and reflect on what 2021 has been for each of us in our individual spaces. And allow any thoughts that may come up, or any judgments, or any things about how the year is, was, or should have been. Notice them and keep looking, keep reflecting. Who we have been for ourselves, for our close communities, for our larger communities, and even for the world. Here, place one hand on your chest and take a deep inhale, acknowledging yourself for how far you've come so far. Breath in, exhale. Let's also take a breath for the moments we weren't our best selves and for those who are still struggling. Inhale. Exhale. And let's claim the future of what we could be and what we're on the path on. Acknowledgement, inhale. And exhale. Okay. Thank you for taking that moment. sometimes it seems like when the world is going crazy all around us, there's that moment of breath. And we say that in the MBW training. It's one of the key, shall I say, hallmarks or key principles. My breath is my most powerful tool. So now you can use that. I see memes of say, my yoga teacher told me take child's pose whenever you need it. So whether in the supermarket or you're having a hard day, know that child's pose is there for you and your breath is there for you as well. All right, into the agenda for today. So I'm just going to relieve some high points, some low points that we went through over the last year, take you on the journey, so to speak. And first, we want to talk back to Burn Your Burnout. For those of you who took part, it seems like eons ago, but that was February of this year. We had Burn Your Burnout, which was based in MBW, the 12 Principles of Mind, Body, Wellbeing, which is a trauma-informed training that we were able to have. So this was kind of like a snippet into it, and we were able to identify what burnout means for us, how it can express itself in our daily lives. And through the 12 days, each day with a guiding principle, we're able to work on our bodies, move with breath and with content to help us learn that particular principle. And the feedback on that was so encouraging, and it was so needed at the time because we ourselves were suffering burnout. And we were like, oof, if we are feeling like this, imagine what the rest of the world out there is feeling. So we were able to bring together this program. And of course, it was led by our superstar, Nyakenywa. For those you don't know, she leads our trauma-informed work here at AYP with a great, great, great support from Buffalo. And this is in CCC, Catherine Kokoton. And we also have Whitney Owens, who has also been a big supporter. And the three of them, along with our Catherine here, were able to lead the November MBW training. And this, we ended it November 21st. And it was one of the ways we were thinking of like really reiterating and thinking about our programs and how we need to move into the future in the digital landscape. And we are so thankful that people like really registered and showed up for that. And we were happy to be able to share that with the world. For those of you who are hoping to take this course in the future, it already exists on Teachable. And it's one of, in fact, if I'm not wrong, it's the only like science-backed trauma-informed work that continues to evolve right now. So along with the University of Buffalo, we're involved in the first of its kind in research work that actually shows the direct correlation between the practice of yoga and trauma-informed practices all over. So we've had trainings happen in Somalia, we've had trainings happen in Nairobi, in Rwanda. We even had a training happen in Kakuma, although that was 2020. And we're able to now have this one open to the public in 2021. So it's something we hope to continue doing, and you'll hear more from that in Catherine at her bit. So yes, so that's how we started the year and kind of how we ended the year programs-wise. And for those of us who remember, we also had this serious issue with the defamation and the allegations that were made by the No White Saviors group. And this had like effects that we really weren't like, even prepared for. It's affected us financially as a community. Like we had teachers afraid to even teach for a time because they weren't sure how they would be received. At the time, in many African countries, there was a lockdown blocking physical meetings. So it was hard for outreaches to take place. And those that were able to take place, teachers were scared and were worried. Are we going to have backlash because I am putting this on the internet? Am I going to be at risk? Thankfully, our teachers have taught us a lesson in resilience, and they were able to continue teaching and continue doing the work, even when it seemed like the world was burning down around us. Something else that also came up out of that is the importance and the need to share voices. We were able to even like beforehand, like just sharing the different experiences of a yoga teacher, because we know yoga teachers don't all look the same, sound the same, or come from the same place. And so this gave us an opportunity to actually now showcase even more voices that, hey, you're hearing from this one area of things. How about all these other places that you can hear about the wonderful work that's being done, the stories of the individuals responsible for that work, and even to go further and now continue building a community. And so we are thankful that we're able to bring that. And so many of you, especially those in the tribe, you've seen the videos. You're probably most notable knowing Cynthia, who just graduated, by the way, in year 3. Festus, who's a year 2 teacher and is so passionate about fitness, in the world of fitness. So if you're on the tribe, you've probably come across those teachers. Another one is Dennis, who also graduated. And so these are community of teachers, of individual voices who, yes, were affected by everything, but continue to be resilient and continue to cause impact and still teach in their communities. So that's something exciting for me to have seen. Something also really amazing that happened since we had the lockdown in Nairobi as regards to coronavirus, that was in 2020, we actually closed the Shine Center to the public. The Shine Center in and of itself was open to be able to allow our teachers space to connect to internet, to have a community of people where they can just talk and let things off their chest, to be able to come and practice together. But we basically closed the Shine Center to the public, and we reopened it to the public with the 1 p.m. class and now the Saturday community classes. So those are ongoing. And we did that in July 5th. So if you're in Nairobi, please, we are closed for now because, holidays, but come January 3rd, we're actually opening with 30 days to yoga. So you're welcome to join at that time, and Catherine will share more on that. Yes, so I've spoken about MBW, I've spoken about Shine, I've spoken about Burn Your Burnout and MBW. Something I've just touched on is graduation. So in the year 2021, we had a graduating class of 31 African well-being leaders. And we had a virtual, or rather I say a hybrid event on Friday. So we are still hyping from that. So if you've seen crazy pictures of celebration on the interwebs, yeah, that was what was happening on Friday. But worry not, we are still working on, cutting bits and pieces for that to be able to share with mentors and share with our greater community about the amazing work that they've been doing. Like I said, you'll be able to catch the work of, for example, Cynthia, or for example, Beldine, and who else? Oh yeah, and also Dennis, if you're in part of the tribe. So, which is a good time to talk about tribe. So the tribe program is something that came out of Corona, being able to have a community where we can meet, chat, and discuss together. And what that contains is 3 online classes. So the first one is the Tuesday mental health well-being class. And I've seen Sarah Page here. I'm also seeing there's a great man called Luis. I see Melanie here. Lots of people who are in that call. That call is also led by Nyakenywa, again, our superstar, who has been a force to reckon with when it comes to mental health and really bringing that out in our community and training us how to do it. She's trained in that sphere of work. And every Tuesday, it's something to look forward to, that you can come together and learn about mental health. The other part of that is the Wednesday opening to depressed class, where we focus on a smooth flow of yoga from specifically for the opening sequence all the way to the depressed sequence. And that one is led by our superstar Kene, who, as you know, is also our studio manager. So that is happening. And then we also have the Thursday, that's the sutras class. We pick a sutra, we dive deep, we talk about inquiry, we talk about how to apply it in our daily lives. And it's so fun to see something that was written thousands of years ago still be relevant to us today. So that also happens. You also get access to content, written content that comes in an email every week, and you get a pre-recorded yoga class a movement class, and also a meditation that lives on Insight Timer. All of that is possible for you to receive and take part in for a suggested donation of $50 per month. It's AYP's way of running a subscription service about sharing yoga on and off the mat. So if that's something you're interested in doing, whether you're a yoga teacher or not, please jump in there and see what's going on there. And so once you're looking on all our interwebs and things, you'll be able to see the invites for those as well. So yeah, I think that's my time, Wanji. And I've kind of gone through the highlights of what we've done, and also just to say a big, big thank you. Thank you is a small word, but it's really heavy, especially on our hearts. As Leadership Council, the four of us, myself, Wanji, Fred, and Catherine, when we were called to this leadership position in AYP in June of this year, it was like overwhelming. We were scared, we were worried, like all the emotions. But sometimes when you come on calls like this, you're reminded that, oh yeah, hey, it might be scary, but this is your community and your family, and you people have showed up for us so big, and we feel supported, and we know that we can do this now. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Julie. And please write down your questions if you have them. We will have a Q&A session. The next person that I'm going to call is Fred to take us through the impact of our impact numbers for 2021. Welcome, Fred.
Thanks, Wanji. Thanks, everyone, for joining the call today. I'll be taking us through the impact numbers. And first of all, let me take this opportunity to introduce myself, just in case someone doesn't know me in the room. My name is Fred Wango. I'm in charge of impact mining and also being able to communicate it. I think the most interesting part of this job is usually when I have to project it and talk about the impact of what we have done. And for me, impact is at the core of everything that we do. It goes to justify why we keep getting busy. And the numbers here will be able to tell you that we have really worked hard. Despite the year being very tough here, we've really worked hard, and the resilience that Julie was talking about has manifested in the evaluation numbers. I'm so excited to share this. It might be quite heavy in terms of numbers, but don't worry, don't bother about cramming it or keeping it somewhere. We'll be able to share this through an impact card that we'll send out once we have everything consolidated and collated together. So I'll start off. There are numbers that might be fairly low compared to 2020 in terms of our reach, but there's a justification to that because of COVID, because of the pandemic. We had to really reduce the number of people that we were reaching compared to 2020. But the impact is huge. Those that we've reached, the impact is quite huge, as you'll be able to see from the numbers. So in terms of outreach classes, the teachers delivered 9,591 classes. That's a huge number, considering that we were in this current situation and with the circumstances that we are going through. Well, in comparison to 2020, it's fairly low, and that's because, remember, we graduated a class in 2020, and this class that we graduated has never been replaced. The number of sessions that we were delivering previously, we were not able to deliver them because of COVID. A lot of restrictions that are being imposed here and there, which is actually things that we might have, we actually do not have control over. So in terms of the Savasanas that we reached through outreach, we reached 69,222. Of course, that's fairly low compared to 2020, again, for the same reasons. We also delivered sessions at Shine Center. Remember, in the wake of COVID-19, we had to close the Shine Center and allow people to work from home. And we immediately innovated ways of delivering these sessions in 2020 through online platforms. And so teachers were able to deliver the sessions through online platforms. But then in 2020, we continued doing that. And at some point, I think sometime in July, the first week of July, we resumed in person, in-person sessions. But then if you look at the numbers, still, they really don't compare, but we are really working hard because again, in 2020, remember the first quarter, we had things happening as normal. So, so if you have to compare 2020 in that front, you find the numbers are fairly higher in 2020 as compared to 2021. So in 2021, Savasanas at Shine Center were 2,464 versus 2,782. They are nearly neck to neck, if you ask me. So it means that we really did so well. So in total, the number of Savasanas that we delivered, that is individual experiences, people taking sessions, yoga sessions, was 71,686. I think the team deserves a clap for that. Yeah. I think the numbers that for me really strikes a note of optimism amidst all these chaos that we've gone through in 2020 are the impact numbers. And the impact numbers, we get them by doing evaluations, or we do surveys. We ask yoga teachers, and we also ask students a number of questions, which then we put together and analyze. And one number that really speaks to what we do is the number of teachers who are teaching yoga for a fee. These people who are working in the wellness industry, tapping into that, into the wellness industry that is largely untapped in Africa, but it's quite huge. We have 73% of teachers working elsewhere in the wellness industry. And this number has constantly grown from 2018 when we started tracking these numbers, from 68 now to 73. And I'm so impressed. And if you look at the deeper analysis into that, you will see a very positive trajectory in terms of the length of the period that someone has been in the academy. So you find like year one is 50%, year two is at 69%, year three is 72%, and then the alumni is 82%. So that really goes to show that during that period when we are empowering, we are actually living that value of empowering the youth. And then 96% of teachers also report improved monthly income, and that is reflected in just the other indicator that I've shared, and also a lot more in terms of just having conversations with them that we've done. Then of course 100% give approval that, hey, I am so convinced that if I leave this place, my ability, my long-term earning ability has actually improved 100%. And that number has always been consistent for the period of time that I've been able to track it. In terms of ability to relate positively, 95% say that their ability to relate with other people has been quite huge. And that also connects to the MBW program that Julie was talking about. That is one of the outcomes that we really are keen to track in as far as MBW is concerned, and generally even our programming. Another good number here, 99% report improved physical well-being. Someone is messing up with my light, sorry. 99% report improved physical well-being. This is, if you compare this to 2020, it's up by 2% from 97%. So that's, again, something quite positive. And then again, 98% of teachers report improved mental well-being. And this stays at the level where it was in 2020. One other area that has really gotten huge approval is the Google Classroom. You remember we kept on talking about, we moved the academy to Google Classroom. And as at 2020, we had an approval rate of 85%. Today, as we speak, we have an approval rate of 92%. So that really goes to show that whatever we did, again, in terms of moving Google Classroom, moving the academy to a virtual platform is really bearing fruits. And of course, 100% of the teachers really feel engaged. in this content, and they feel that this has really made them be able to access the content better than previously, how it happened previously. In terms of yoga students, again, just some good news. Nothing more to report but good news. 98% reporting improved self-worth. And you know, I look at this data sometimes also in depth and seeing in terms of gender, how is this happening? And just a sneak preview, more females say that more female than men report improved self-worth when you look at that indicator. Then again, 97% report improved ability to cope from stress. And another big number here is 99% report improved social network. Can I tell you something about this number? Very interesting. If you look at it, when I dissected this number by gender, again, I noted that more men are finding social support in taking yoga classes and participating than females. So social support is quite huge in terms of mental health. And so let's encourage more men to take part. Of course, students report improved physical and mental well-being. I think one thing that keeps on coming is body flexibility, physical fitness, reduced physical health challenges like back pains. People who are frequenting hospitals are now reducing those many trips to hospitals, better stress management. People are getting more mental clarity. And I think those are all huge impact that we've had. I think as I sum up, in the interest of time, is that I acknowledge the team that has really worked hard to ensure this amidst all the challenges that have been mentioned here. And I also acknowledge our funders, our donors, because this wouldn't have happened without your support. And so for me, again, I'll say a big thank you, and I wish you happy holidays. Thank you. We will share this. We'll share this in form of an impact report. So like I mentioned, don't worry about running the numbers, but the numbers are good, and I'm impressed. Thank you. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you so much, Fred, for those reports, and good job. Next in line is our own Jordan. Welcome, Jordan, to give us our annual finance report.
Thank you, Wanji. And again, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It means so much to us, probably more than you can imagine, to feel that our community is with us. So I'm Jordan. I'm the CFO. I am based in Nairobi, but I'm currently visiting my family in New Jersey. So I'm just going to take us through a few points around our financial situation, and I'll start off with a summary of our 2021 finances, and then I'll talk a little bit about 2022. And similar to Fred, we will share all this information in the form of a document. Don't feel like you have to remember anything right now. You're not going to get quizzed. Okay, so as we've mentioned, 2021 has been a very, very difficult year for us. Wanji always likes to call me the bad news bear because I give the finance updates. But it's been tough. We've been severely impacted by the ongoing effects of COVID. In 2020, we received a number of emergency funding resources that were not available anymore in 2021. So, now is really the time that the organization is feeling that impact. And just for, those people on the call who might not be based in Kenya or in Africa, there really haven't been the government stimulus support programs here that we have seen in other parts of the world, like in the US. So, AYP has kind of played that role for a lot of community members, and, just have to use our own resources to keep the organization going. So, yeah, that's a bit of context. And of course, we've also really been impacted financially by the No White Saviors defamation. As a result, we've had to implement a number of difficult cost-cutting measures, which we updated you guys on in the last community call. But those have included a very painful decision to reduce staff compensation across the board by 20%, a decision which the Leadership Council made in order to keep the team together and try to get us through a difficult time. I'm really proud to say that the team has really come together, and we've really, I think, taken solace and support in our community, which is the most valuable thing that we have. We have also renegotiated our Shine Center rent, which was, has been greatly reduced in 2021. Will remain at a reduced rate in 2022, but it is increasing. So that will be, an ongoing challenge. And as you know, we did keep the Shine Center closed for a number of months, which was, both due to COVID and safety and also financial constraints. We've also had to insource some of our financial management. So we do work with external accountants, and we'll have to take on some of that with our finance team internally as a cost-cutting measure as well. So in total, our expenses for the year come to about $550,000, which is a big reduction from previous years. In 2020, our expenses were $855,000, and in previous years, our total expenses have been around $1 million and sometimes a little bit more. And, I said, this is kind of what has allowed us to survive in a little bit of a skeleton format. And unfortunately, in 2021, without a new class of teachers being trained, which we've had to do to kind of keep going, keep innovating. Just to give you a high level sense of how we use the funds that we raise, 64% of our total expenses went towards increasing youth employability, fostering civic engagement, and creating access to well-being practices. So kind of directly serving our mission. So that includes all the academy expenses, outreach, yoga classes in the community, teacher trainings, which in 2021 have included the MBW, trauma-informed training, and some, not 200-hour training, but just ongoing training for teachers, and also the Shine Center, which, for those of you that have been to the Shine Center, you know how important it is as a community center. So that's the vast majority of our expenses. 22% of expenses in 2021 went towards our global partnership programs. So that includes the ways that we interact with our global community. In 2021, that has been entirely virtual. That includes the tribe, Burn Your Burnout, and MBW training is in there. And then 14% of expenses goes towards general and administrative costs. So this is basically, behind the scenes resources that keep things going. And we have a kind of, just so you guys know, kind of a benchmark target of 15% maximum for that. So we hit that target. Our 2020 audited financials are available on the website in the form of our 990. And our 2021 financials will also be published there. And in case you ever want more information, all of our annual financials are published on the website. One thing we are trying to do a better job of is actually summarizing the financials so that they're super easy and hopefully a little bit less boring to look at. But not everyone loves numbers as much as me and Fred, so I understand that sometimes it takes a bit of work to make them a little fun to look at. Okay, so in terms of 2022, as Wanji said, there were times that we didn't know if we would make it to the end of this year. So we have done that, and I think that is something to take pause and be grateful for and be proud of. And there have been times also that we weren't sure if we could make it through March 2022. And at the moment, with the cost reductions that I mentioned, and with the current support that we have from mentors, from our tribe members and our institutional donors, we can reliably make it through May 2022. So bit by bit, we're kind of chugging along, but we still we still need a lot of support, and we're still doing our best to kind of innovate and create new funding and relationships and find new sources of income to keep things going. So we're doing it and we will do it, but we're not out of the woods yet. We are estimating, in order, if we keep our current sort of cost-cutting measures in place, which would mean our staff salary reduction, limiting the use of the Shine Center, no teacher trainings in 2022, we still need to raise about $430,000 to make it through the year. And if we bring our salaries back to their full amounts, fully operate, through the Shine Center, and train a new generation of teachers and well-being leaders, then we would ideally raise an additional $675,000 in 2022. So that's kind of a high level. We have, an engine of donor relationship development going within the team between me and Fred and the rest of the leadership council. And we're, really thinking creatively and innovatively around new funding partnerships. So we'll be sharing updates on, how that all progresses, but this is the high level situation. And yeah, as mentioned, we will share a kind of summary of both the 2021 financials and the 2022 budget as a follow-up to this call, and we'll try to make it pretty. And yeah, just I want everyone to know I'm very much available for any questions, any conversations, any brainstorming sessions, any information that you might want to know or that might help you understand how we work better. We're very much here for that. So please don't hesitate to be in touch. Thanks.
Thank you, Jordan, for the detailed report. And some of the other ways that you can support us right now is joining the tribe, which is our monthly subscription, or become a mentor, or donate, or host donation-based class in your studio, and we can definitely send a teacher to come and teach.
Say hi. Mom.
Sorry about that. So mentorship, joining the mentorship program and mentoring our teacher, donating, connecting us with organizations that could possibly give us a grant. And Fred and Jordan are ready to write proposals. And yeah, so we are open to any suggestions. And so the next one is Catherine, who is going to tell us about an exciting upcoming program. It's really exciting. So Catherine, karibu sana.
Thank you, Angie. Hey, everyone. It's so good to see you guys again here. Thank you for joining the call. And most of of my updates, some have been talked about and some have not been talked about, but I'm talking about what's new with Africa Project. And one of the programs that one is talking about that is coming up is called 30 Days of Yoga, that will start in January 3rd. So yeah, both in person. We had decided to just do it in person for the Shine Center clients so that we can get people back to the Shine Center and joining the Shine classes. But also now we have decided to do like 2 live sessions online in the evenings, our evening. It might be different timing. So they will both be in person and online. So 30 Days of Yoga starting January 3rd. If you haven't signed up, sign up. After I'm done talking here, I'll share the link to sign up on the chats. So that's one of the exciting things that we have here. And another new exciting thing is for the tribe. So I have new, exciting, amazing content for the tribe. And we also we're moving to a software called Ribbon. And for all the tribe content will be on Ribbon. And here the content doesn't have to live on your email like it's been happening. So you'll be able to access all the content. Like if you're in Feb and you'll still be able to access January content all the way to the end of the year. Not to the end of the year, to the week we will be in. So that is also exciting. So we have we're able to create a library. So you can go in there and choose to do whatever classes you want to do when you join the tribe. So if you haven't joined the tribe, it's only $50 a month. Go ahead and do that. And also help us enroll people into the tribe. Let's get people in there. Let's get like over 500 people subscribed for the tribe. That would be amazing. So talk about us. And if you have any questions, if you need more details on the tribe or any online programs that you have with Africa Project, reach out to me. I'll be so happy to support and help. Also, our Saturday community class is back in person and online. So I know it's a little bit too late for some people because it's 10 a.m. Kenyan time in the Kenya, and I think it's like 1 a.m. somewhere else. But yeah, you'll be able to practice with us online and in person from the Shine Center. So that's also something exciting. But we, for now, starting January, so not December, we've closed because this year is our Saturday's holiday, like Christmas and New Year. So starting January, you'll be able to access our community class in person and our community class online. And if you do tribe content, if you have the tribe subscription, you'll be able to access the recording of the same class. So getting energy all the way from the Shine Center. Yeah, last but not least, donation-based classes. So we've been able to survive. At least a little bit survive is the donation-based that we have. Corporate studios, corporate workplaces, yoga studios, hiring Africa Project to teach online classes. So that's something we can do. So if your workplace needs a class, your studio have an opening, you can hold a donation-based class, and we will have an AYP teacher teach. That's also some of the teachers that have been able to do these classes, give them a stipend to be able to teach. So they, especially people who lost a lot of the client traveled or they lost their source of income, so they could not afford yoga anymore. But we've been doing those classes. There are not many. We wish we can get like 5 classes a week that we have more teachers teaching them. But yeah, if you know anyone, any workplace that might want an online yoga class, let us know. That's it. That's me.
Thank you, Catherine, so much. The last agenda before we go to Q&A is me taking off the kofia. What is kofia? Hat for moderator and putting on programs manager hat. Anyways, so upcoming programs for 2022. One is Global Healthy Happy Life, which is GHHL. It's a trip that we designed around October, November. And it was a very short trip that I was supposed to travel, go to the US and raise funds through teaching. And then Sarah Page, some of the people here were to be my hosts. I didn't travel because I went to the airport to travel, but I couldn't because my second jab was less than 14 days. So I had to go back home and then wait. So oopsies, stima imepotea. Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, we just lost power. So I'll stay in the dark. And so, yeah, I didn't travel. We decided to do it in January, end of January, beginning of Feb. But now again, with the new COVID and things happening in the US, some states can't hold indoor activities or exercises. So we are moving it to spring. Dates to be confirmed later. And the silver lining here is we have more time to plan. That's how I feel. And engage more studios and more partners. If you know anyone who would like to host, let us know. The next one is the next program is the Kindred Community Server. So Kindred, what's coming? Okay, Sarah Page, thank you so much for being here. So the next one is Kindred Community Server, which is a server safari. It was previously known as Family Server. And Christy, who is here on this call, will be co-leading there. He's Christy. I'm just gonna add her to spotlight so you can see her with me. And I know you can only see my teeth. So Christy will be co-leading the Kindred Community Server in July 2022, end of June, beginning of July 2022. We are hoping that things will be better by then and COVID will have gone down, gone where it came from. So we will be having that, and we choose the one Kindred because from Google it means one's family, and family does not have people that you have come from the same mother, same father. We are family from different mothers, and also now with Kindred Community, it opens opportunity to even people who does not have kids or sisters that are there coming with for this trip. So it's open to different communities, different groups. And if you have a child as young as 5 years, as old as 18 years, as old as 70 years, as young as 90 years, they are all welcome to join this group of Seva. We will be going together with them to hopefully in Jambini, which is a school that we teach. And we don't teach outreach there, actually. We support kids from South Sudanese. We've been paying for their school fees. And, as we have been experiencing this hardship, it's also been hard for us to continue paying for their school fees. And we would like to keep them in school. So this Kindred Community Server will help us do that. And then we have other programs in the pipeline. I hope you can see me better. I'm using my computer to give me light. So yeah, the other one is that the other 2022 programs that are in the pipeline is the MBW training, Mind Body Wellbeing training in person, hopefully here in Kenya or in Rwanda, that way we've done it before, or yeah, so there'll be two, one in person and one in online. So if you can't make it here in person, you can do it online. Then we are hoping to also have two servers again in 2022. Those 2022, those are still in communication. And again, another retreat with Andrew Seeley, dates and days and months to be confirmed, hopefully next month in January, so that we can put them down. Anyways, that is me, and we are here to take questions. Q&A. Any questions? So unmute yourself and then ask the questions.
Yes, I have a question. This is two on here. For my question is for the 30 days of yoga, how does that work, and what are some suggestions you have for participants who would like to join your program in the future but are not able to at the moment? So I guess there's two questions. The first one's the 30 days of yoga, and how to join the program in the future, if possible, like the teaching program in the future.
Okay, I'll take the question about the 30 days, and I think one will answer the second part of the question. So, how to join up? Just shared the link to join the 30 days on the chat. But how it looks like for now is join any of our studio classes, unlimited yoga classes for 30 days, starting the 3rd of January. And unfortunately, we're only able to live stream 2 classes, but the recordings will be available for you if you cannot join the classes.
Oh, sorry, I was chatting instead of. The other question was how to join the programs later on. Just to clarify, do you mean like, for example, the tribe or the MBW teacher training?
The tribe. Yeah, so for the tribe, that would be, and then I was talking more about the teacher training is what I was referring to.
Okay. Yeah. So the tribe it's an ongoing subscription. So you're welcome to join in at any time. Again, with full access. So the links are in the chat. So you can also like peruse through them and see. For the teacher training, the dates right now are still in the air. We're looking at trying to time it in a way that makes sense for people to be able to travel, for those who will be able to travel, and for those who will be unable to travel to still be able to take part with the virtual offering. So actually that's more of like a stay tuned type of thing. And yeah, so that you can be able to join that.
All right, clear, got it.
Thank you.
Hi. My name is Stephanie, and I don't necessarily have a question. I just wanted to shout out to everybody that I've been a mentor for, I think, 9 years, a very long time. And I really believe in AYP, and I'm happy to hear about your financial situation today, that you reported you're going to be able to stay open at least until May, which I think is fantastic. So I just really support what your organization is doing. And it's really been a very heartening part of my life to be a part of AYP. I've had 3 different mentees during this time, and I'm still in contact with all 3 of them. And the first person is probably somebody that some of you folks know. He's kind of a superstar James Njunga, and I just appreciate everything that you guys are doing to keep it together during this really rough time. So I'm happy to be a part of the organization and to be on a call today. And thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Stephanie. We really appreciate that and the work that you have done as well. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Also, no question from this side either, but we were hungry to hear your news. And I know it's been a really rough time, not just for AYP or, you know, for everybody, yogis, non-yogis, no matter, all of our goals have been challenged really hard in the last 18 months. And we were hungry to hear your news and really happy that, yeah, we're still standing after, you know, this really hard 2021, and we'll see you on the mat in January. Good to see everybody.
Good to see you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any more questions? We are here to answer them.
Michael has just actually posted, so to stay tuned on our socials. In fact, a good way to do that is if you're already following our socials, you could put in a notification so that every time we post, you'll be notified, and so you can get the information quickly. I promise we don't post like 100 times a day, so it's not going to be like ping, 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 ping 5 times in a day. But for the posts, for sure. We are big on stories, but for the posts, you can put in that notification to let us know. Yeah.
Anyone else? Any more questions? Anything else? Stephanie, are you lifting your hand? Oh, I think she was saying bye. Anyone else? All right. If no one else, thank you so much. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to those everyone who celebrates it. Happy New Year in advance. Thank you. You are a rare gem for us in AYP, and we really appreciate each and every one of you who is on this call and who will be listening in. Asante sana. Happy holidays, and enjoy the rest of your day or the rest of your night, depending on where you are. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much. So nice to see you.